Good evening. This side Rahul Makan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting Group is a multinational headquartered group based out India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. More importantly, we do have offices in three parts of the globe. We operate our own hedge fund now, which means we are proprietary. Now, by definition, proprietary means that we only trade our own capital. We do not trade in third parties' capital. And all the positions which we are taking in the market is based upon our own capital. So, no third party capital is involved in this. More importantly, just like American hedge funds, we take position in FICC, which means fixed income currencies and commodities. More importantly, we do take position in crypto and other asset class also. But like I said, our positions are our own capital. No third party capital is involved. More importantly, we have other sources of services like our paid news desk, our FNO Learnings Academy, our crypto learnings desk, our trainings, our private placement program, our pension fund desk, our family office desk, and many more services. In case you wish to have any information, you can WhatsApp on my personal number, which is +91 9899242978. Alternatively, you can WhatsApp on our back office, which is +91 9818485155. Today, I would like to cover yet another topic on the law, which is the issues with the Section 11 of Indian Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996. Once again, this video would be 20 minutes plus video, and as usual, we would be bringing the issues which you don't see in the public. Rather, with due respect, the law firms also do not want it to pinpoint these issues in the public. Now, let me start with the basic fact, which is arbitration. Like I said, majority of the contracts in India do not have any arbitration clause because people do not have any knowledge of arbitration, and people feel that going forward there is no need of arbitration. Forget the last video which we made, which is about third party financing, or also known as litigation financing. Forget about usage of the bank instruments in litigation financing. These all are very advanced terms for India. Hardly few corporates take arbitration seriously. Else, I have never seen a right contracting done in India. More videos on the contracting to be coming soon on our YouTube channel. But this video is specific for those who have taken contracting seriously, not just like an ambiguity thing. When you do a contract with your counterparty, it could be an e-commerce contract, FMCG contract, maybe heavy machinery, maybe some renewable project, maybe some car, maybe some aviation, any kind of contract. Make sure that what kind of arbitration you are looking forward. Now, what the hell is what kind of arbitration you are looking forward? There are two forms of arbitration we have worldwide, which is mentioned in the books, but actually it is four types. I will tell you bookish first, then the practical second. As per book, two forms of arbitration are ad hoc arbitration and institutional arbitration. Now, first, let me clarify what is this. I'm giving you the bookish thing, then I explain in the layman term. Ad hoc arbitration is suitable if parties to be masters of arbitration, which means I'm just getting a hypothetical example. I repeat, it's a hypothetical example. Amazon India is dealing with, say, simplistically TCS. Amazon India wanted to delegate their IT business to TCS. Hypothetical example. But it's an IT business. TCS is a big company. Amazon India is also a big company. But Amazon is much bigger than TCS. If there is a slight delay in the delivery, or as Amazon India website is not working, then it would be a big mess for Amazon. But there is a twist. This contract is not all about Amazon India. Rather, this contract covering the Amazon.com, which means the global website of Amazon. Amazon.com, Amazon China, Amazon India, Amazon London, Amazon Singapore, and many countries. So say this is a global contract. So hypothetically speaking, Amazon India wanted to outsource the IT setup of their e-commerce to some IT company. Assuming whatever price discussion, negotiation and all, they shortlisted the TCS. Okay. They made, since Amazon is a big company, knowledgeable company, more important. TCS is a big company, knowledgeable company, more important. Both added the arbitration clause in their contract. Let's assume the contract, which the IT outsourcing contract, which Amazon India wanted to give to TCS, after all due diligence, pricing and all, is of 5 years. They made an arbitration of 5 years. Now, in this 5 years contract, if in this 5-year contract, what Amazon is going to be doing, Amazon is talking about ad hoc arbitration, which means if any mess happened, I repeat, if any mess happened, then Amazon would be, both the parties, Amazon and TCS, would be appointing the arbitrators or tribunal. Take a note. I said tribunal. I not said institution. Now, what the hell is that? Tribunal could have one or more arbitrators. Now, since this is a big contract, Amazon is giving the whole setup to TCS and expecting TCS to manage in a seamless way. TCS is also expecting the KT, means knowledge transfer, and the immigration, which means the immigration of knowledge from Amazon to TCS would be smoothless. So both parties are having a set of expectations from each other, and both parties feel they will meet that expectations. But God knows, anything can happen. This is business. We do not know. Keeping this in mind, Amazon is serious. TCS is also. The arbitration is not about one arbitrator. It involves 5 arbitrators. Now, this means arbitration tribunal. But this is ad hoc. One is institutional arbitration. Now, institutional arbitration means Amazon India would say, guys, we would be follow the institutional guideline. Now, what is that? There are 1200 plus arbitration institutional worldwide. Few leading: London Court of International Arbitration, Singapore International Arbitration Center, International Chamber of Commerce, Dubai International Financial Center, and many. More than 1200. I cannot explain all one by one. Amazon, in sync with TCS, is saying, guys, hold for a minute. If any dispute happen, we will go to London Court of International Arbitration. We would be abide by what they are talking it about. There is a catch. What the hell is that? The catch is, what would be the seat of arbitration? London. What would be the venue of arbitration? London. And what would be the contract of arbitration? London. TCS and Amazon needs to agree on that. So arbitration is of two types in theory. Number one is the ad hoc arbitration. Number two is the institutional arbitration. There is a big gap in institutional arbitration. And the big gap is that both Amazon India and TCS cannot go against the institutional arbitration. Guys, this is theory. There is a practical, which is known as institutional and anti-institutional arbitration. Example, very simplistically. X company defaulted in India. Financial creditor went to NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. National Company Law Tribunal gives some judgment. I'm not saying in the favor of company or against the company, that is separate. Either of the parties not happy, they can go to NCLAT, National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. National Company Law Appellate Tribunal give the judgment. Again, either of the party not happy, Supreme Court of India. Similarly, one is institutional arbitration, which means you go to London Court of International Arbitration. One is anti-institutional arbitration. What would if there is a dispute? Amazon India saying, I'm sorry, I'm not happy the way London Court of International Arbitration dealt the matter. I wanted to take this further to SIAC, Singapore International Arbitration Center. Guys, the contract has to be drafted accordingly. If the contract is ad hoc arbitration, then whatever I said is impossible. If the contract is institutional arbitration, whatever I said is possible. But if the contract of institutional arbitration do not mention the anti-institutional clause, the example which I quoted of SIAC is not possible. Another two forms of arbitration is standalone arbitration and group corporate arbitration. Standalone arbitration means in case of dispute, Amazon India would be litigating against TCS India. Because the TCS India is providing the services, Amazon India is going to litigate this. One is corporate group arbitration, which means Amazon US. Now, why I taken Amazon US? Because Amazon is a US based company. Amazon US would be litigating against Tata Sons because TCS is the holding company of Tata Sons. So whether this is an ad hoc arbitration or whether this is an institutional arbitration, one thing which you need to be aware, and very specifically, whether you want standalone arbitration or group corporate arbitration. Now, please be note that there are pros and cons of both. Standalone arbitration are having own pros and cons. Group corporate arbitration are having own pros and cons. Do take a note of that. There is a concept called Section 11 in India, which means the appointment of the arbitration. Now, let me study something for you. In India, when we speak about Section 11, which is the appointment of the arbitration, it is subject to the parties' agreement. A person of any nationality can be an arbitrator. Absolutely, a person of any nationality can be an arbitrator. Upon failure of mechanism agreed by the parties for the appointment of arbitrator, the Chief Justice or any person or institution designated by him shall make the appointment. Take a note of that. Institution. There are 1200 institutions. Singapore Institute of Arbitration Center, London International Court, International Chamber of Commerce, Dubai International Financial Center, and list is huge. Institution. Always mention anti-institution. I'll take a hold here. Suppose there is a dispute. Amazon India saying, I wanted to have Mr. X, let me say Mr. Martin, hypothetical person. He is the right person for arbitrator. TCS saying no. Mr. Martin is having some or other connections with Amazon India, so he cannot be an arbitrator. He cannot be an independent person. But Amazon India is stick to Mr. Martin. TCS is against Mr. Martin. Then the appointment of that arbitrator, since it is not mutually exclusive, no common ground between TCS and Amazon India, it will go to Chief Justice, person of equivalent, maybe an institution. But guys, there is a hierarchy. Who will decide first? Let me come to the point again. In case of international commercial arbitration, the Chief Justice of India or the person or the institution designated by him may appoint an arbitrator, whereas arbitration other than international commercial arbitration, the Chief Justice of the High Court or the person, institution, or the person or the institution designated by him may appoint the arbitration. So please be noted, judiciary is not the only thing who will appoint the arbitrator. It is the institution also which play a very important role in terms of arbitration. But there is a very misbelief we have, and that misbelief is that section 11 speaks that arbitrator can only be appointed by the judiciary. No, judiciary really wish that you appoint the arbitrator. Why to come to me and waste the time? Because I'm already into so many litigations. But judiciary also want the contracting has to be done in a way whereby no mess up. But unfortunately, majority of the contracts are not done in the way. Now, I would like to highlight a very important point about the institutional arbitration and the issues with the institutional arbitration. Number one, administrative fees for services and use of facilities, which can be considerable if there is a large amount in dispute, sometimes more expensive. So, example. The IT contracts Amazon India gave to TCS is $5 billion. Since Amazon is a big company and this involves a whole e-commerce setup, 5 billion is a really small amount, but hypothetical example. In such a large contract, the fees which is charged by the institution, don't think that these institution works for you free of cost. Please don't be in the mindset that London course, London course, I would say, London Court, International Chamber of Commerce, DIFC, Singapore International Arbitration Center, they work free of cost for you. Of course, they charge but nominal, but sometimes in case when the arbitration is huge, expensive, super delicate, super complex, the fees is really very high. That is something which we need to learn. Now, there is another issue which is practical: politics. People are same everywhere. You go anywhere, people are same everywhere. People are those who pass the insider information. People are those who give insider information. People are who are easily corrupt. People are same everywhere. We have seen the scandals in United States. We have seen the scandals in India. We have seen in United Kingdom. We have seen in Europe. Tell me the country where there are no scandals. There is hardly any country. People are same everywhere. Let it be honest. And Singapore is not an exception. You can open the Google and see how many scandals happened in Singapore also. Well, Singapore is not an exception. So in case you have an institution, there is a great probability of politics. Now, what is that politics? A party who is very mighty, huge muscle power. Now, muscle power doesn't mean this. Muscle power means the money. Huge muscle power. They can easily influence their decisions. That happens. Third and last, the timelines which these institutional arbitrators give, sometimes they are either unrealistic or sometimes they are beyond imagination. Another issue, institutional arbitrators sometimes issue the statements which can even impact the share price of the company. So example, I just get it this since this is a hypothetical example. In case of Amazon India and TCS, the London Court of International Arbitration issued any statement, and assuming both Amazon and TCS not in agreement of that statement, it will influence the share price of both Amazon and TCS. Amazon is a listed company in US, TCS is a listed company in India. It will impact the share price. Sometimes, in case of institutional investor, media track these issues. Media, without knowing, just copy paste that statement, which does influence the stock price of the companies on the either side. That is really very important. Another problem with institutional arbitration is single arbitrator work on multiple projects. What do you think? These institutional arbitration, like few names which I mentioned, they have thousands of people working for them. They have huge workforce. They are having workforce, but limited workforce. What do you think? The London Court of International Arbitration, they have 7,000 people working for them. Singapore International Arbitration Center, they have 10,000 people working for them. Or other like International Chamber of Commerce, they have 20,000 people working for them. There are so many arbitration cases which are coming up in the world every possible day. Some are simple, some are complex, some are super complex, and some are super complex, and in some cases anti-institutional clauses there. Which means if you don't happy with that, you go to the higher side. Now, one arbitrator is working on multiple arbitration projects. Issue of time and scrutiny. So let me give another simplistic example. Just assume in case of case 1, both Amazon and TCS agreed for ad hoc administrator. They gave the name of 10 administrator, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, A, B, C, D. TCS agree. We are agreed. Now, these arbitrators are only responsible for Amazon and TCS. They work hard. They know that if they perform, they get more business. Now, assuming Mr. Martin is one of them, hypothetical name, Mr. Martin will say, hey guys, do you know Amazon India and TCS dispute is handled by whom? Me. Check on the Google. People will say, oh my God, you handle that dispute. Can you handle this dispute also? Of course, my charges are $1 lakh per case. Oh, of course, we'll pay you. But in case of institutional arbitration, the money is charged by the institution. And they have a set of panels who is busy in multiple cases. Time and scrutiny. That's more important thing. But unfortunately, I have seen that big corporates, without quoting the name, they always go with institutional arbitration. I'm not quoting the name, but in the recent few arbitration cases I have saw in the few last years, I have seen that companies prefer to go with institutional than going ad hoc. That's a separate thing, that ad hoc arbitration is convincingly much better than institutional arbitration. And over the period, we have seen the cost, we have seen politics, we have seen the people getting sold inside the institution, we have seen hell lot of time being consumed by the institution, we have seen some misleading statements given by the institution which not only impact the P&L of that company, but the stock price of that company. Because in case of individual or ad hoc arbitration, they are allowed. So example, Amazon give 10 names, A, B, C, D, P, Q, R, M, N, O, P, and one of them is Mr. Martin. Amazon will clearly mention in the form of NDA, which is non-disclosure agreement, without our permission, you will not give a single statement in the public. Neither you will reply on the email, nor on the Twitter, nor on the WhatsApp, anywhere. But in case of institution, the passing of information is very easy. That is something which is really a cause of concern. So all the parties, those who are into the big contracts or the medium contracts and they know about arbitration, they need to be very careful while scrutinizing, are they going with ad hoc administration or they are going with institutional administration. In either of that, they need to be sure whether they are going with the standalone arbitration or the group corporate arbitration. I always prefer ad hoc arbitration in group corporate, which means just the hypothetical example which you have taken. In case of any dispute, Amazon US, being Amazon listed in US and the parent is also US based, would be dealing one to one, means the arbitrator panel would be dealing with Tata Sons. Since Tata Consultancy Services is a wholly owned subsidiaries of Tata Sun. This is the right way of an arbitration. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group, and today we covered section 11 where we cover ad hoc versus institutional arbitration. I repeat, the example which I have quoted of Amazon and TCS is an arbitrary example just to make video more meaningful. Please don't think that Amazon is planning to have any IT contract and TCS will win that, or either way. This is just a pure hypothetical example only to make videos more meaningful. Thank you very much. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You know my personal number +91 9899 242 978. It's a very interesting topic. I believe that if you mix the functional knowledge with the law, deadliest combination in the world. More videos are on the cards. Have a great time ahead. Thank you.